Hello, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Trans Supporter. My name is Nicole Eldridge, and I'm a transgender female still going through the transition process. Today on the show, we are going to talk about the coming out process. Now, this coming out process can be broken down into three different categories. The first category is location. The first thing you never, ever want to do, and I've heard this from multiple people, whether they be gay, lesbian, bisexual, any kind of, spectrum of the LGBT spectrum. Doesn't matter who it is. The number one thing they say is to never come out in a car. The reason why you never want to come out in a car is because it's an enclosed area, like a very closed off space. So that gives them, first of all, it gives them privacy. Second of all, it gives you time alone with them to talk. And quite frankly, some people just don't understand, and their first reaction may be anger. So this brings us to the second place. You never want to come out to somebody in private. The private place it's a bad thing because then they can have the opportunity to lash out at you because they're in private, if that's who they are and if that's what they're going to do. Because everybody's different and everybody has their own way of doing things, Some people are like, okay, do you mind if I process this for a little bit? Like, some people do it that way. Some people are just, boom, accepting right away. Other people are just like, oh my God, get the heck out of here. We don't want you. We want nothing to do with this. You're a bad person. Get out. Now, that's the extreme case, but I'm saying there's a wide range of cases when you come out. Now, we're going to talk about the second, number 2. The second category today that we're going to talk about is the type of person you should tell. Now, obviously, these are the people you've grown up with, and these are the people that really mean a lot to you. So you've grown up with them, and you know their personality traits, and you know who they are, and you know how they operate. For instance, when they get mad, what do they do? Or when they get happy, what do they do? Or when they get sad, what do they do? You know how they work. So this can be a good test. If you're really scared, let's say, to come out to your father, because your father may be rough on you, you can always start with your mom. Come out to your mom and let her know, hey, this is how I'm feeling, You can do it in private. You can do it out in a public place. Doesn't matter. You can tell them first and then tell your dad later on, once you get the courage or once you talk to your mom about it. What I did was I first talked to my cousin in the family. Now, I knew my cousin was really accepting because we had a really close relationship, so I confided in her, and that made it a lot easier to come out to the family. Then I started stepping into my immediate family and came out to my sister. She was accepting, but a kind of like, whoa, like, where is this coming from? Like, what? And so then I told my parents. So I did kind of like a stepping stone, as you will, which kind of helps in a way because you go from like the lowest level to the highest level of pressure, so it kind of helps in that aspect. Number 3 that we're going to talk about is how to come out. Now, big disclaimer is there's no easy way to come out. It's pretty much like a band-aid. You got to rip it off and you just got to say, hey, mom and dad, I'm this. But there are ways that you can go about this that are a little bit smoother and a little bit easier for people to understand. Now, what you're going to want to do is a lot of people usually build like a PowerPoint and say, hey, mom and dad, this is blah, blah, blah. And you can build a PowerPoint and you can be like, hey, I'm this. This is how I feel this way. This is what I feel, and then at the end you can be doing, do you have any questions? That's one method. Another method is you can go in there and just talk to them without the PowerPoint and be like, hey, I feel this way because of this. I've been feeling for a long time. I've been doing a lot of research, yada, yada, get the facts that you know of, and then they can respond. Or you can just say, hey, mom and dad, I'm this. And I really like this. And this is who I am. That one's a little bit rougher because you're not giving like an explanation and you're not trying to get the people to understand. You're just saying, hey, this is what I am. In certain circumstances, that's okay though, because like I said, like we talked about before, reading the person is crucial, before you come out. That's why we have the 3-step process, because what you're going to want to do is follow the 3-step process in coming out, and you'll have a much, much, much easier time coming out. Very easier time coming out. Now, what you really don't want to do is, again, and I stress this, please do not, first of all, tell somebody in a car. Second of all, do not come out on social media. Like, if you haven't told your parents, it's not a good idea to come out to social media, because then people that, like, you're friends with, that are friends with your parents, will be like, what the heck? Like, they'll be like, oh, I heard your son now wants to be a daughter, and your parents would be like, what the? And they'll look at you funny. And you don't want that to happen, because then that's only going to make it so much harder for you. It's ridiculous. What you want to first do is you want to, like I did, which made it easier, is slowly build up to telling your parents. Like, start with somebody in the family you really trust. Start with them, then start with probably your brother or your sister or somebody like that. If you don't have any, you can tell another cousin, then you can work to your parents. That's the best method that I have found when coming out. And what I did was I came out in a restaurant. So I came out and I had both my mom and dad. I sat them down and I said, here, this is what I am. I've been thinking about this for a long time. This is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. And, you have to give them time, because it's not something that they're just going to automatically wake up and be like, boom, this is what you are. Some parents, yes. Some parents are going to be, okay, we're going to support you. We're going to get you the help you need right away, blah, 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 blah. Other parents, it takes them a while. Like my parents took me a while when I came out. That's okay. It's perfectly acceptable for them to come out. But it's not really fair for the person that's coming out or the parents to wait 5 to 6 years, then start coming around to the idea of, hey, this is what you are. Like, no, that's not okay. Like, it's okay to wait a couple years, like 2 to 3 years, but if you go stretch any more than 3, you're going to start getting to the problem of the person that's coming out start to feel really bad about themselves, because they can't be themselves, and it's terrifying. So those are pretty much, the ways to come out, and a little bit more explanation on how to come out or what to do. Please, if you could, down in the comments, if you could please type and leave a little comment, that would be great. If you could give this a thumbs up, that would mean so much to me. So much to me. And what would mean the best to me is if you could subscribe in the little red box that says subscribe. That would be awesome. Alright, folks, I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you.